This is Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. It's my pleasure here to have Miss Kecia Lewis here to talk about her role as Miss Liza Jane in the Broadway musical Hell's Kitchen. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Wilson. Rut-row.
It's a like and so here you are, you're playing this performance, and when I saw it on Broadway, I was mesmerized. Obviously a lot of us go in there knowing Alicia Keys' song, but the songs you sing, they're the ones they're least known. And at first I thought, is this an original piece?
Right, exactly. They're the
And so
least
I was
known.
like looking it up, looking it up. So let's take it back, obviously, from when it started on at the Public Theater to now. You've been working in theater for such a long time. What made
Mhm.
you come out for this one?
This was a pretty special one. And when I first got involved with the project, it was kind of at the tail end of, I won't say the tail end of the pandemic, but the tail end of our industry being shut down. People were just starting to venture out a little bit. So my first introduction to the piece was in 2021. Our director, Michael Greif, who I worked with years ago and have known for a very long time, invited me. He said, I think there's a role in this that you'd be right for. So I've been with it since then.
And we've all listened to Alicia Keys at one point or another. I can say I'm a fan, but I'm not a fan to know every one of her songs.
Right, right,
How much
right.
of her music did you know?
I think I'm like you. I was a fan. I know most of the popular stuff. I was surprised that a lot of the songs that are in the show that were recorded that I also thought were new pieces that she had written for the show. And when I started doing my researching, I was like, when this came out? Oh.
So, and then here you are, you're playing Miss Liza Jane.
Mhm.
Uh, how much did you want to pour into this character outside of what the script and story called for?
Oh, I absolutely wanted to give it 100%. Miss Liza Jane is the lead character, Allie's piano teacher and mentor, and she kind of becomes a life mentor for her as well. And what's important to me, I've always been a mentor, actually. I've jokingly said that I've been counseling people since I was 10. I don't know, people were always drawn to me for advice or what to do about this and how should I talk to my mom about that. It's always been this kind of weird thing with me. And so I understand mentorship very, very much, and I understand the importance of it. And I've had some tremendous mentors over the years. And I still glean from what they gave me years ago. One of which, my acting coach from when I met him when I was 15. He helped coach me on this role. He is still coaching. He's 79 years old, and we did some Zoom sessions on this role. So, yeah, it's so much about the people who have been outside Liza Jane's for me, as much as what's in that book.
Now, the songs we hear on the show, obviously they're her songs, but there's some renditions, and when
Right.
you sing A Perfect Way to Die, which closes out Act One,
Mhm,
it's such a powerful way to, the way you sing it,
mhm,
it moved everyone,
mhm.
and when you were rehearsing this with Miss Keys, you know, how did you want to sing it and match it up to what she wanted to be, the way she wanted it sung on the show?
So when Alicia and I first talked about the song, the thing about Alicia is she's very collaborative, which I so appreciate. She doesn't have to be. She is a bona fide certified hit maker. So for her to walk in a room and allow theater artists, and this is a new world for her, to give their input was really amazing. So what she offered me first was she said, I want you to do what you think it's supposed to be, but I want to share with you what I was thinking when I wrote it and what was happening inside of me when I wrote it. So I was able to pull some of that into this character, but I am the mother of one Black son. And so that song is so significant for me. And I was a single mom for a long time. It's significant because of all we've seen in this country over the years, over the decades. My parents are from the deep South in Alabama. So I've seen some things, I've experienced some things. And so I think that knowing that and knowing what Alicia was thinking and feeling when she wrote it combined it helps me to bring out the performance that I'm giving.
So there's a little bit almost of everyone, in you in this show. You're the mentor, you're the mom, everyone was a kid at one point, so everything that the character that was playing Alicia's character has done or going through, you've seen, and even the one where, the mom is going through. And so
Right.
besides the songs you're singing, everyone can relate to some of these songs that are being played out.
Yes, absolutely. I think I always tell people when they ask about the show, because people don't know what to expect, except that they're going to hear some Alicia Keys music. They don't know what the context is going to be. They don't know that the songs have been reworked to work in the story, as opposed to the songs being kind of jimmied into a play that makes no sense. Everything is flowing together. And so what I always tell people is you're going to find yourself in this story. You're going to find yourself in one of these principal characters. You're going to know at least two of these principal characters that you've experienced in your own life: the dad, the mom, the first love, the teacher. You're going to experience that. And all of us at some point have been 17, all of us. So,
And then there's the other song, Authors of Forever. Is that a new song? Is that something from her, her music library?
No, that's from her music library. It's in her catalog.
You
Yeah.
know,
As a matter of fact, our leading lady, Malia Joy Moon, who plays Allie, Alicia, she loves that song so much. Our dressing rooms are next to each other, and I often hear it. And I just kind of want to go, really? Really? You want to listen to it
I
before
have to, I have to admit, after I saw this show, and I'm Googling you everywhere, I'm like, "Who- this voice, I tweeted about it. I said, this voice, and then I
Oh,
like to
thank
see if
you.
anybody recorded anything from the public theater, any of your songs. It's like, I just want to hear a snippet, I want to
Oh.
hear a snippet again of how she sang the song. I'm hitting up, is there a white label of the soundtrack out already? We can't wait. We want it now. And I can say, you think about why
Yeah,
people go to some musicals back and forth, is because they want to hear the songs again.
they want to hear those.
Um,
Well,
and-
good news. We recorded the album this week. We opened on this past Saturday, and we were in the studio Monday and Tuesday, and they are working their magic. So we should have a cast album very soon.
that's music. That's words to my ears. You
Good.
know, during intermission when I'm reading backgrounds, we all take the time. If you're not going to get up on your seat, you're reading the playbill. And then I
Mhm.
see your bio and they say, oh, she's celebrating 40 years and that she was in the original company of Dreamgirls. I was like, what? How do
That's
we not know this?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I've been in the business for so long. I started when I was 18. I was the last and the youngest Effie in Dreamgirls. I started off understudying Roz Ryan, and then I went on quite a lot as Effie. And then I did the show again in Los Angeles in 2000. And I got an Ovation Award, which was very meaningful. It's kind of the West Coast Tony Award for that. And being in the business for so long, what I've learned is that very often a role has to meet a season in life, has to meet an age, has to meet the right story and where you are. And when all of those things collide, you get an experience like what I'm having. It's only happened to me probably 3 times in my career. I've loved all the roles I played, television and theater. But it's only been about 3 times that I can say everything merged together and it felt like magic, what people call magic on stage.
Hey, right now you're having a good run. Congratulations on your Art of Critics Award. I mean,
Thank
nomination
you.
and the Lotel nomination.
Yes.
Win or lose, it's always great to be recognized, especially when there's a bevy of talent out there in competition.
As well as we also got nominated for the Drama League, which is very exciting. So Malia, our lead, Shoshana, who plays her mom, myself, our director, the musical itself. So it's all very exciting.
You
Very
know,
exciting.
and so when you're working with this cast, you're one of the vets on the show. You know, how does this cast look up to you? When you're coming in there and you got a lot of newcomers on stage, a lot of newcomers on Broadway. It's a different feeling when you're doing it at the public theater.
Yes,
You know,
very much so.
were
There
you,
was
were you able to talk to anybody in terms of making that transition, and they're gonna be seen by a larger audience?
I talk to them every single day. I was with some of the young ones after the show last night. There was an article, I did an article, I interviewed a week or two ago, and the article came out this week. I didn't know what she was going to use or not use. And she captioned it, Kecia Lewis, the mama of Hell's Kitchen, because they all call me mama. They all do, you know, and it's a joy. You know, it's really a privilege to be able to pour into people who are just beginning their journey, people who are curious about the journey and the ins and outs of it. And there were people who talked to me and mentored me and showed me. And I'm excited that and privileged to be able to give back, that people actually want to listen, because we're in a youth culture, you know. So a lot of times when you get to my season of life, they're like, oh, go sit down, old lady. So it's a privilege to be able to share.
Yeah. You know, the thing about continuing to work is that you never know when you're gonna get your shine. You know,
Right.
you yourself mentioned you got decades in this game, and you know that's the love of it. You know, you don't do it for the awards, you do it because of the project and what it
Right.
means. And at any given time, because Broadway brings in a new audience every day, you know, there's
Yes.
always going to be someone that discovers you. Either they're like, "Oh, I remember her." You know,
Yeah.
people who are regular, like, "Oh yeah, she was great in this, she was great in that." You know, and then there are people going to be like me to be like, "How did I know?" No, you know, and then like,
I think that happens all the time. You know, when we hear about people get awards, and then, you know, a lot of people are like, where did this person, where did they come from? And then you look up their name and you find out they've been at it 40 years, 50 years. You know, it's about the love of the craft. It's about, I look at what we do in the entertainment industry as a service. People want to either escape for a little bit or be inspired or be moved in some way. And only art can do that. So I get to serve people every day. And that means the world to me. It's very, very important to me to be of service. I mean, why are you going to be here if you're not going to do some kind of service? Don't take up space, you know?
for those who have not had a chance to see the show, and for those who may not be familiar, you'd be surprised of
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of
yeah.
Alicia Keys' music. What's a good reason for them to come out and see Hell's Kitchen?
There's so many. The first one that comes to me though is the tagline of our show, which is remember where dreams begin. And I think all of us have had a dream or two or 10 or 12. And very often, as we get older and life comes at us, and responsibilities and accountability and all these things come at us as adults, we forget, we lose sight of the excitement of the dream we had when we were kids or young adults, what we wanted to do. So I pray that this show helps people to indeed remember what their dreams were, number one, and number two, where they began.
I want to thank you for coming on. Obviously, you know, I made it a point. Let's talk to her. Let's get her on video. Let people know, because I'm sure, you know, when people come out of these shows, they want to see it. As you mentioned, there's one article that came out yesterday or this week, and I'm sure there'll be more to come out. You know, so keep ready. You know, get your
Thank
vocals
you.
ready, because you'll be talking a lot, if not singing. And I
Yeah,
appreciate
sure.
this, and I can't wait for the soundtrack to come out, because I'll be out there, you know, getting it. If not, but it's a
Uh-huh.
white label. I want the white label. You know, you know what I'm talking about when I say the white label.
Yeah, I do. You may have to talk to Swizz about that.
You
Alicia's
know, it's
husband.
like just give me her sides. But I appreciate it. Take care of
Thank
yourself. We'll
you.
talk down
You
the
as
road.
well. All righty.